Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so excited and so pleased to have with me today Lydia A. Douglas. She is a fine art photographer and independent filmmaker with over 4 decades of experience in black and white still photography, teaching photography and visual art. Her additional experience includes screening and guest lecturing for her film Nappy, which was her thesis film from Howard University as a graduate film program, right?
Right.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, I was so excited when I read about you and when I saw the trailer about Nappy. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got a whole lot to say.
I do have a lot. When you said over 4 decades of photography, that surprised me because it's true. Well, first of all, my dad, my late father, was an artist. Mm-hmm. My mother was a painter, and she loved to draw. Uh-huh. And so I basically had no choice but to be an artist. I grew up with 2 artists. I started painting when I was 3. So,
oh my.
Yeah, my dad refused to have coloring books in the house. So I grew up with the arts. Mm-hmm. I was always taking pictures at family events. Mm-hmm. And I used to sew my own clothes. That was back in the day, you know, when mothers used to teach their daughters how to sew or send them to sewing school. Yeah. And I really took to it. So I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. And then I went to college and I discovered I hated drawing. Didn't like drawing, wasn't good at it.
Okay.
So a friend of mine was studying photography, and I thought that was interesting. Let me try that, and then maybe I'll switch back to painting. I was supposed to take this painting course, and I never switched back to painting. And that was when I was 19 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and my dad built a dark room for me. When he bought me the camera, he was a little bit hesitant. It was like $250. At the time, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he thought that maybe, I wasn't going to take it seriously. Mm-hmm. And then I did. And he built a dark room. And actually, I just disbanded it. Well, just time flies. Maybe about 10 years ago or so. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
History, yeah.
When did you realize that you were good at what you did? You know, when you knew you were capturing the right, you know what I mean?
Okay, so I knew that I loved photography when I was 20. I knew that I was good at it when I was when I was 19, I loved it. When I realized I was good at it when I was about 20. I took a class with Beth Shepard. This is like done in New Canaan. There was this photographic community. It was actually called Photographics. And it was a community darkroom and a gallery. And she used to teach classes there and at the University of Bridgeport, where I was studying. And she saw my work and she said, "You have a very good eye, but I need to teach you how to print. I need to teach you how to," because we were doing black and white. Right. "I need to teach you how to, the technology of it, make the blacks really black." And especially since I was dealing with black people in black and white, there's a certain way that you have to expose the film and develop it and print it to get the best look. And after she showed me that,
you just took off.
I was off and running. It was just amazing.
Oh my God.
I just fell in love. It seduced me. Photography actually seduced me.
Wow. Now, photography and then into the filmmaking.
Okay, so in the filmmaking, so I was doing photography, documenting black people, and not really getting my work wasn't getting the exposure that I wanted to get.
Okay.
Sort of like a pun, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time, in the early 90s, I was very inspired by Spike Lee. And other black filmmakers in the second renaissance of black film. And as far as going to Howard goes, I had no idea that black colleges had majors in art and film and things like that. I didn't know anything about black colleges coming from Connecticut. I thought they were, agriculture and business. That's pretty much
Yeah, yeah.
my extent of what I thought they taught. And a friend of mine suggested going to Howard. And her husband at the time belonged to a group called Africoba.
Okay.
And a lot of the members, that was a black arts organization.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of members from that organization went to Howard. So that's how she knew
Okay.
they had art programs. And I applied, got in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now, I'm looking at your hair. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the idea to do the film called Nappy?
Good question. Okay, so as I was saying before, my work, I wanted to get my work to get more exposure. I have made a slideshow. Remember slides?
Mm-hmm.
You used to project them on the wall.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So I made a slideshow, and I was projecting two opposing images of black women and girls.
Mm-hmm.
One was a portrait of a woman or a girl that was taken in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Another one was, like a staged one or something for the media. And I would juxtapose them. I would show the two slides side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And explain how I see black women is very different as how we're portrayed. So
Right.
when I studied film, I was thinking of my thesis. I wanted to turn that into a film, and my advisors said, "No, you can't do that. It's going to take too long.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never graduate, and it didn't really lend itself to being a film." So then I thought, okay, I'm going to take a piece of that. What part of that slideshow? It was called Sister Sister.
Mm-hmm.
What part of that slideshow could I make into a film that would reach black women and empower them? And it was the bit about wearing our hair natural.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how women wear their hair, short, natural, straight, perm, weave, whatever, all black women can relate to being told that their hair is bad.
Yes, who's got bad hair, who's
Right.
got good hair.
Good hair, bad hair,
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
And so I thought I wanted to make a film that would empower black women to wear their hair natural. So I did that. And I call it Nappy because I wanted to flip the term nappy
Yeah.
and show, oh, well, you want to call me nappy-headed? Well, I'm proud of my nappy hair.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I know that you're going to be in Bloomfield, and you're going to be at Sankofa Art Gallery on Blue Hills Avenue, and they are really excited about you coming. I think they're going to play the film, right?
Right.
And you're going to talk about it. And I think they wanted to call the presentation Nappy and Happy.
Good.
It was in the summer of 1968, following my first year at Howard. My political consciousness, political awareness had really grown being at Howard, and I had made a decision that I no longer wanted to bear the expense, the pain, and suffering of straightening my hair. I realized that the whole process of black people straightening their hair had come from a European aesthetic, which was not our own, and my new sense of pride and African aesthetics led me to a decision to stop getting permanents put in my hair and to wear my hair natural. I was in a program at Northeastern that summer, and the day came when I either had to make the decision or go for the next permanent, and the decision was not to have the permanent. I washed my hair, I cut it, and I was a newborn, proud African sister. I knew that this change in my life and my appearance was going to deeply affect my family, so I went home that afternoon and left a note for my mother and father to tell them that I had made this change. And that evening when I came home for dinner, my mother and 3 of her neighbors were gathered at the door waiting for me, expecting my arrival, and they were in tears. The discussion was that I had lost my beauty, had changed everything that they had spent years building in my life, and that this was going to be really detrimental to my development. But the decision was made, and it never changed.
And that's, I'm going to put a little plug in for that. That's going to be on Mother's Day, right?
Right.
And it's going to be at 1124 Blue Hills Avenue at Sankofa Art Gallery. It starts at 2, from 2 to 6. And the contact person is Leola Jean McCorey. Phone number is 860-280-5277. For more information, please give her a call because the space is limited. But I'm going to talk about that again, but I want to continue talking to this very, very interesting person that's sitting here with me right now.
Can I say something about the screenings?
Yes, sure.
The thing that I started doing at the screenings is the beginning, I have a trivia game.
Okay.
So we'll put a question on a whiteboard or project it.
Okay.
And then people have to guess the answer. And if you get the answer correct, you get a raffle ticket. And we raffle off different things. Like I'm raffling a signed DVD of Nappy and a little bag of goodies.
Okay.
You know, like a hair pick and different things for your hair.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. Mother's Day is a special day for me, and I usually try to spend a little time with my daughter, but I want to try to leave early just so that I can get down to the program. So a lot of your art or photography has been displayed in a lot of places. I also saw where you did a portrait of mother and daughter on the beach. Mm-hmm. What was that called?
Aoife and Raven.
Oh, okay. And that was displayed on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
That's right. So that was published in a book. Mm-hmm. And what's the title of that book? Something like The Face of Our Past, A History of Black Women from Colonial Times to the Present, right? Uh-huh. And that photograph and a couple of others were in this book. And the woman who published it lives in Chicago. Uh-huh. She gave it to a friend of hers who I think is either a friend of Oprah's chef or he is Oprah's chef. Uh-huh. Oprah saw it, and then she chose a lot of different photographs out of the book to show on her show.
Wow. Mm-hmm. How special is that?
That's very special.
Oh, my God. You have, it says, tell me about Reflections in Black, a history of black photographers, 1840 to the present. That was at
Smithsonian.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Deborah Willis, who's like, what do you call them? They call them she's a Genius Fellow, MacArthur Fellow. Uh-huh. She curated an exhibition. Okay. And some of my work was in that exhibition.
Some of your work was in that.
Right. And then she published a book. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. There was another one, Africans in Diaspora.
Africans in the Diaspora.
Thank you so much for say the word again.
Diaspora.
Okay, I was saying it wrong. Can you tell me about that?
That was an exhibition.
That was an exhibition.
When was it?
It just says at the Regional Lewis.
The Reginald Lewis.
Theater. Okay, girl, help me out.
I'm sorry, gallery. Yeah,
museum. The gallery.
Museum.
The museum. Oh, okay. So you had some work displayed there.
I did. That was my. I moved from Maryland to here, and right before I moved, my work was exhibited there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's a funny story. I was driving, and this is in Baltimore, I was driving, and they had this huge sign above their building, and I stopped in traffic, and I looked, and I said, my work needs to be in that gallery, in that museum. And then, like 6 months or a year later, I made it happen.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God, that is just so wonderful. Now, I don't want to mess up some more words.
That's okay.
Your photograph, the sneak art, am I saying that right?
The sneakret.
See?
That's not even a word.
It's not even, okay.
My niece made that up.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it earned you an honorable mention from Photo Week in D.C. and was screened at National Geographic magazine. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah. About the exhibition or the photograph?
Well, both. Tell me about both.
Well, the photograph.
You just got so much. You got so much stuff in here. It's just like, oh my God.
Okay, so my niece, who is now 31, at the time was about 4 years old, and we were out in the backyard, and it was hot. It was a summer day, and she had a bucket of water, and she was trying to get her mother wet, and her mother wouldn't come out of the house.
Okay.
So she says, "Come here, Mom, I gotta tell you a secret." Like tell you what, Lydia trying to,
okay.
right, come out because she has to tell her a secret. But she said sneakret.
Okay.
And yeah, that was when I was still doing black and white photography. I do a little bit more digital now and less black and white. And that photograph was part of a series of 3 of her in the water. And there's this film that I used to love. It's called Tri-X. It's a black and white film. And if you expose it right and print it right, it's very smooth. Like the texture of things like skin and water is very, very smooth. So she's laying in the water, just really peaceful in this little kiddie pool.
Yeah.
With the water over her. And so that one was chosen.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Now, back to the film Nappy. How did you choose I think you were 14 women that were in that movie? How did you choose the women? What was the criteria and all of that?
That's a good question. Well, at the time, we were still using newspapers, like the kind you can touch.
Yeah,
I ran an ad this was in Maryland. I ran an ad in the city paper, the Washington City paper. It's a weekly paper, an alternative paper. And I ran an ad and I said, I'm making a film. It's called Nappy. It's about black women who wear their hair natural. And if you're interested, call me. So lots of women called. The criteria is that you have to be wearing your hair natural, meaning no blow dry, no straightening, no hot comb, nothing. And you can't be doing it off and on or as a trend. You have to be somebody that's committed to wearing your hair natural. So that weeded out a lot of people. And then they contacted me, and that's how I settled on them. There's some women I knew. So like there was one woman that I asked to be in the film. She said, no, I don't think I'm the right one, but I have somebody that would be a good person for you. And she's in the film. Her name is Dara Tompkins. And she's a Rastafarian, and she had been Rasta for like 17 years. And her locks were like, at the time, her locks were like down here.
Wow.
And so she brought the perspective and the history of Rastafarians wearing your hair as a Rasta. So she was good. Then there was my neighbor across the street. She's a white woman who adopted a black baby.
Okay.
And I thought about her because she had asked me to braid her daughter's hair. She was telling me the story of how black women would always stop her in the mall and on the street and say, got to do something with that hair. She didn't want a permit or anything.
Right.
And a lot of times white people think natural just means like, that's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
No greasing, no combing.
Yeah.
So finally she said, somebody said, that's fine. That's your daughter. That's cool. But you got to learn to do her hair. And she taught herself how to cornrow.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's her little story in the video. I'm trying to think. Then there was my aunt, who was the very first person I saw to wear her hair natural. She was wearing her hair natural like 5 years before the Black Power movement, made it popular.
Yeah.
Then myself. Yeah. And so everybody else I got from the newspaper ad.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, do you find any other cultures, not just in the black culture, that people consider people as having bad hair, like Spanish people or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the Dominicans are notorious for hating
Really?
natural hair. They call it pelo malo, bad hair.
Really?
And if you want your hair bone straight, go to the Dominicans. Without getting a relaxer, go to the Dominicans. I don't know what they do, but yeah.
I heard people talk about the Dominicans
Yes.
flat ironing people's hair, making it real straight.
Very, very, very straight. Yeah, they do. So they can make your hair really straight, and they're just really good at it. And the problem is that they definitely think that natural kinky hair is bad.
Really?
Unfortunately. And then in Brazil, there's a little girl, she's 8 years old, and somebody made a film about her. What's that word? I forgot what the word is. It means cabello duro or something like that, hard hair.
Okay.
And so somebody made a film about this 8-year-old girl who has a little natural, and she's very, very confident, very outspoken, and she says, my hair is not bad. There's nothing wrong with my hair. I haven't had it translated. It's in Portuguese. So she inspired me, and the next film I wanted was about natural hair, like you said, in the diaspora, in the Latin American countries.
Okay. I know my my daughter, my mother was Indian, American Indian, my grandmother, and so my kids, both my daughter and my son he's really dark, but he has very straight hair, and my daughter has a softer hair, kind of like me, and my daughter got married and she had 2 little girls. And she did not, she said, "Ma, I don't know what," because their hair is very like real tight. And we've been trying to find the right product for their hair because she doesn't want to straight up put chemicals or anything in their hair.
Right.
So, but they have little dreads or little twists in their hair. But she called. I said, and at the time I was like, I don't know what to tell you to do because I've never experienced having to do the hair. But they look adorable with their little twists. But a lot of people are finding out now that a lot of the chemicals and stuff that people are putting in their hair causes women to have all kinds of problems.
Right.
Cancer, fibroids, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
From
Exactly.
perming their hair.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. Here's something I didn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I am in contact with Senator Robin Porter.
Okay.
She is the one that wrote the Crown Act.
Oh, okay.
We have the Crown Act here
Uh-huh.
in Connecticut, and it's signed in either 23 or 26 other states.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in contact with her about, and I may be jumping ahead, I don't know if you
Oh,
have
that's
that
okay,
question.
honey. That's okay.
Okay.
It's all about you and what you got to say.
Okay.
I just got a little, you know.
So the Crown Act, as you may or may not know, is a law that protects Black people from being discriminated against by their hair.
Okay.
The thing I don't know is where it covers. Does it cover the workplace and school?
Okay.
School, just workplace? So I'm not sure about that in Connecticut, and I'm not sure about it in the other states. But that's the basic thing.
Okay.
And she wrote a very, very comprehensive bill. So saying it includes you can't discriminate against somebody wearing a do-rag, a head covering, twists, locks, braids, extensions, bantu knots. She just like went through all the different styles of how we wear our hair and put it in the bill. And it's sponsored and supported by Dove Corporation. And so she has a contact at Dove that I'm really hoping will get funding because I want to make a national tour showing Nappy to historically Black colleges.
Wow. Oh my God. That sounds so interesting. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Not only did you do all of this, but you've taught for many years. You were art teacher.
Right.
Oh my good. Tell me a little bit about that. All the years of your teaching.
Well, my late father was an art teacher.
Oh, okay.
And for the longest, I said, I want my own identity. I'm not going to be a teacher like my father. I'm going to be a photographer. Rah, rah, rah. But it didn't really pan out. Yeah, I grew up with an art teacher. I didn't grow up with a professional artist. So it was kind of difficult for me to figure out how to be a professional photographer. So after fumbling and messing around with freelance photography for many years, then I got certified to teach. I got certified in Maryland. And I started out teaching middle school.
Okay.
And my father taught junior high school. So it's like just, kind of similar. And I say about teaching middle school, you have to be a little bit crazy to do it, and then you go a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So we're like a very special breed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I taught middle school for 9 years, and then I taught high school for 4 years.
Okay. All right.
And I also taught at university. I taught at Howard.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I taught there for 2 semesters.
Oh my God. So interesting. What else I wanted to ask you? Let me see. You've done so much. It's just amazing. I was going to ask you, what medium do you use in your, photography? What?
Still photography?
Yes.
Now I use digital, but I'm slowly going back to black and white film. 35 millimeter black and white film is my favorite.
Okay. Now, how did you? I know you did the photography, but how did you get into and learn how to do the filming?
Oh, well, like I said, I was interested. I was very, very inspired by Spike Lee, and I went to film school, and I wanted to be a cinematographer. because I love photography. So I shot a couple of student films. We had to do, when I went to Howard, they were anti-Hollywood, and they wanted to teach us how to be independent filmmakers. Because as you can imagine, it's very difficult for black people, especially black women, to make it in Hollywood. So they taught us how to do everything. I learned how to edit. I learned how to write. I learned how to direct.
Right.
I learned how to shoot. And I didn't do much acting. I didn't like acting. And I edited on what is considered an antique. It's called the Steenbeck. It's a big flatbed table where you put the reels of film on the table and you literally cut it. You like splicing it.
The actual reels.
The actual roll of film. I learned how to do that.
I can imagine these fellas doing doing that now when everything is just you just clicking on buttons and stuff like that.
Right, right. It's very like for me, I'm a very hands-on person. I like to touch what I'm making because if I can't touch it, I don't feel like I'm creating it. I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm thinking it, but that's the part of the process that I love the best.
Yeah. Wow. What other upcoming events do you have coming up?
Before the screening in May, I have a screening on the 26th of April.
Okay.
At Southern Connecticut State University,
Oh,
Wednesday the 26th.
And that's going to be for the Nappy film also, right?
Right.
Wow.
And we're going to have a panel there. I don't know exactly who's on the panel yet, but we're going to have a panel discussion.
Oh, okay. So now what will the discussion be about? It's just going to be about the film?
About the film and the Crown Act.
Okay. Oh, the Crown Act, yeah. Very important. Very, very important. What else did I want to ask you? I had so much stuff, and it's just so much that you've done until it's like, my goodness. I wanted to ask you, what did I want to ask you? This is one thing I want to ask. Has it ever been a time when people that's not of African descent or Spanish or whatever that considered bad hair in the white culture? Have you ever come, was somebody considering somebody in the white culture of having bad hair?
Have they ever come to the show? Have they ever seen or what?
Yeah, have you ever heard discussion about, in that culture?
A little bit, yes. When I first started showing it, white women used to come to the screenings and they would talk about how they would go through like blow drying their hair and just doing different things to get their hair straightened. And I could spot them. I could generally spot a white woman who's blow dried her hair because you could see the roots can be kind of crinkly, or you could see it doesn't lay flat like a white woman who has bone straight hair naturally.
Okay.
So yeah, they do that.
I always kind of wondered about that.
I don't know if they have the term. Oh, actually, yeah, well, wait, let me back up. I'm not sure if they have the same terms, but a very, very good friend of mine, her mom used to iron her hair, just to
Just
put their hair on the ironing board and
and
actually iron it.
iron it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's very interesting.
So many people want to approximate that hair.
Yeah. Yes. What else I'm going to ask? Well, I'm going to go back again to talk about because it's upcoming here. Is again at the on Mother's Day. I just want people to remember that at Sankofa Art Gallery at 1124 Blue Hills Avenue in Bloomfield, this young lady's going to be there, and I want people to come out. It's going to be on Mother's Day from 2 to 6, and you really have to get in touch with Leola G. McCrorey, and the phone number again is 860-280-5277 for more information, because she said the space is limited, and they're also going to have live entertainment, so this should be a wonderful day. Somebody by the name of David and Vincent is going to be there. So this is going to be a wonderful program, so I want you guys to give her a call and go out and see Nappy. Now,
and the other thing I was going to say is, that's Mother's Day, and sometimes people are like, I want to do this with my mother. This is a thing that you should bring your mom to.
Yes.
Mothers and daughters can have a really nice.
I would love for my daughter to come. Oh my God. Yeah. I would love for her to come and just experience the whole thing. Because she has like the dreads.
Your daughter?
My daughter does, yeah. And her husband is from Ghana. Okay. So yeah. So she loves it, and I love it on on the baby's hair. I mean, it's a little, you know, like I said, she doesn't want to do anything to it. She doesn't want to straighten it. She wanted it to be all natural, you know. So I am really looking forward to it. I'm hoping I can get in there a couple of hours, you know, after we have our little dinner and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get over there.
Right, and even if you came, what did you say, it starts at 2, right?
Starts at 2.
Even if people come at around 2:30, 2:15, that's fine, because we're going to have an intro in the beginning, and they'll miss the trivia where, you know, they can ask the question, you know, we play the trivia game and they get the door prize, but at least they'll have the screening. So the screening itself will probably kick off around 2:30. Oh,
okay. I'm hoping and praying that I can get there. Is anything else that you wanted to say about?
Oh, yeah. I just started painting.
Oh, my.
Right. So one of the last schools that I was teaching at had professional development where they taught us this technique. It's called neurographic drawing. And what it is a way of drawing to release tension and to relax the nerves. Although we know that making art in general does that.
Yeah.
So I started making these little paintings, and I also teach that. I taught my first workshop a month ago, and I also teach private workshops where we do a meditation in the beginning, and I talk about the technique, and then they draw and paint.
So if anybody wanted to get you to come to do a workshop for them, yeah, they could. Yeah, okay. I think we have your contact information, but if you want to say it again on the air.
Contact information 202-210-3668, and that is 202, not 203, because I used to live in D.C. 202-210-3668.
Okay.
Email is my company, PZhead2, PZHEAD, and the number 2 at gmail.com.
You know why I'm laughing?
You know.
Yeah, you know. I remember when I was younger, and if somebody had the tight little whatever hair, they'd come here with your peasy head.
Exactly.
Peasy. Right. That's why I'm laughing. That is just so cute.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, because my mother used to use that word, and oh, you ain't going to see that old peasy-headed boy? You know, right.
Oh my God, that's too adorable. Oh man. So I'm telling you, there is just now you have been, I saw here the Kellogg Environment Center in Derby, Connecticut. It's just, you've been at so many places. 7 Lenses, documenting Black culture. That's at the Lyman Hall Center for Performing Arts, New Haven. You did that, right?
That came down already, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that one happened already. You have done so many wonderful things, and we would probably sit here for 2 hours to talk about it all.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, we could. But I just want you to know that it is an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that I can come out. Hopefully one day I'll be able to take one of your classes or something, because I love art. I love filmmaking. I've done a couple of little commercials, been in it but not doing it. And I would love to learn how to do what you do if you ever. But how far away do you live? You said in Derby, huh? That's kind of far away.
I live in Ansonia.
Ansonia, okay.
Well, exactly 50 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. So.
But I travel anywhere to teach and show
okay. All right. And you've done a lot of teaching. Do you ever meet up with any of your students or that you used to teach from years back?
I haven't in a while, no, but I used to run into them. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So again, it's been a pleasure having you to take the time out to come today. And I am just, now that I'm your friend, I think, on Facebook.
Yes, right.
I will be following what you're doing, and I'm certainly going to try to get out to be at the event on Mother's Day.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to bring people with me. But I know she said the space is limited, but it's just so excited. I'm just so excited to be able to meet you. And one thing I love is I have some ladies who we've been friends for the last 30, 40 years. We call ourselves prayer partners. We've just been friends all those years. And I love the fact of when people our age are doing exciting things. And I try to encourage people that, you know, some of my friends have, one is a jewelry baker. After she retired, she started doing jewelry. One got her master's degree. I mean, my cousin worked for Harvard Hospital for over 40-something years. She stopped, and now she's doing all of us are doing other things. So when I see people like us that are still doing beautiful and interesting things, because it ain't over till it's over.
It's not over until you take that last breath.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And so when I have people like you to come on, it just does my heart well. And I know that it will inspire other people our age to, like, you know, get out, do something. Even if you did something before, you want to try something else. My cousin, who was, you know, she was the first black nurse educator in the operating room at Harvard Hospital. But she's out now, she retired, but now she's making baskets.
Wow.
You know, and then she calls them baskets of love or something like that. So everybody, my other friend that I said, the jewelry maker, she retired from the post office, and she's an excellent jeweler.
Wow.
And they're all doing, all of my prayer partners are doing something exciting, and we're all in our 60s.
Right, and that's how we stay young.
Yes.
How we stay healthy.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And we're gonna keep on moving until we can't move no more.
That's right.
You know. So I love it. We both sit up here with our mixed gray hair. I love it. I love it.
My mother loves it too. She calls it wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wisdom. That's right. And so again, I want to thank you for taking the time
Yeah.
to come out
absolutely.
here today, to spend a few minutes at our station. And I'm really looking forward to coming and seeing you, and
Thank you.
following you and seeing all the things that you're doing. I really love it. I don't know if you want to have a special message or anything that you want to say to the TV audience in your
This
in
my
your
camera?
camera. Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. What do I want to say? Support black art. Buy it. Support black filmmakers. Go see movies in the theaters. When you go and pay to see a movie in a theater, it's like you're voting and you're telling Hollywood, this is what I want to see. What else can I say? And come out to the screening. There's the screening in New Haven at Southern Connecticut State University on the 26th, which is a Wednesday. And then come on, Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Yep.
And even though space is limited, she's saying space is limited, come anyway, because that shows that we have demand. And if we come and we get standing room only or an overflow, that's great. That means we'll just have it again.
That's right. That's right.
Support black artists.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So thank you again, and to the television audience, I thank you so much for always supporting me. Since 2008, this program has been. But thank you, because it just inspires me to seek out more and more wonderful people like our guest today. So I thank you, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.